Hi, my name is Kyle, and this is a story about my home. I live in Logan, Utah, located on the east side of Cache Valley. This is the cabin of Hannah Humphreys Wheeler, my great-great-great-grandmother, built in 1876. Hannah was one of the original settlers of Cache Valley, who came across the plains with one of the Mormon handcar companies. Cache Valley settlers set out to make homes, produce food, and build a prosperous community. Its population grew from only a few hundred in 1859 to over 7,000 by 1880. As the population grew, so did its economy and the need for resources. From 1860 to 1910, the overuse of natural resources in Cache Valley and the Bear River mountain range brought many unforeseen ecological changes and environmental consequences. The lumber boom of the 1870s led to mass deforestation of the Bear River range. While it brought large growth to Cache Valley's economy, it had a wide range of environmental effects, including habitat loss and increased erosion. Unused tree wood left by loggers created dry fuel for forest fires, which burned the Bear River mountain range in the 1870s and 80s. Cache Valley's natural grasses also made it a prime area for livestock grazing. The introduction of millions of cattle and sheep resulted in mass overgrazing, making it harder for natural plants to grow and replenish. The combination of logging and overgrazing brought another serious environmental consequence. Before, undergrowth would prevent mountain snow melt, allowing snow to sink into the soil and increase groundwater. Now, it would run off early in the spring, leading to drought and lack of irrigation water for farmers later in the season. Several conservation-minded people in Cache Valley became concerned about the environmental state of the Bear River range and called for community councils to discuss what could be done to mitigate the damage being done and curb its negative effect on the community. Their efforts met strong resistance from individuals with economic interests in the continued exploitation of the Bear River range, who denied the negative impacts of logging and overgrazing. At a final meeting to vote for the establishment of the Logan Forest Reserve, Jedediah Blair rallied the assembled farmers to protect the mountains by asking, "What do you want? A public reserve with pure water and a beautiful canyon, or a private reserve, impure water and mountain deserts?" The vote was nearly unanimous, and the Logan Forest Reserve was established in May of 1903. Although new protections were put in place, such as the reduction of livestock, Cache Valley's residents continued to see the negative effects of their environmental impacts in the decades following. They came to realize that changes to the environment can occur quickly, but take much longer to recover and to restore. Unfortunately, the environmental crisis faced in Cache Valley was not an anomaly. The 19th century saw the movement of millions of people to the west, often seeking greater freedom and opportunity. Economic growth was often tied to the rapid exploitation of natural resources, without much thought for the long-term environmental consequences. This problem continues today across the entire globe. Deforestation, ocean acidification, carbon pollution, biodiversity loss, and many other environmental impacts threaten the well-being of every society. The story of the Bear River range should be a lesson to us all, that the way we use our environment today will have lasting effects which are not easily reversed. It can also be a story of hope, that when concerned people come together, they can bring about positive change and begin to reverse the negative effects of misuse of the environment. It can't all be done at once though. It requires that people everywhere think about the place that they live and consciously choose to act.